I'm finna get in this NAACP crap.
Yeah, I was wondering what they're actually doing. I mean, I was gonna ask y'all that just to start something. I'm like, what is the NAACP? I mean, what
we don't do shit here in San Antonio, but
well, I mean, what do they do nationally? What do they do now?
I'll tell you. Of the lights. They're really more on voting now than anything.
To accomplish what? I heard Castro speak because what's his name put him on live.
Do it what?
I heard Castro speak because put him on live, and apparently he wants everybody to move to the United States and want to come here. And I'm like, they already want to come here. So,
Castro. I'm like,
do I feel a little dissent in among the ranks? I thought he was the poster boy for the new Democratic Party.
Need to do what's right. Oh, the One Radio's live. Okay, I got to get the thingy.
We've had a bit of a disruption this morning.
Yes.
And so we are trying to...
Technical difficulties?
Yes, but not of our own making. Yeah. People difficulties.
Somebody tell me now.
Okay, now she's back. As soon as that line comes in, she's back. You just got to give her 1 minute, 32 seconds.
I like the 32.
Well, that's at what time that part comes in. 1 minute, 32 seconds, and we're back. If we put in 3 commercials, still got to wait 2 seconds. Come on.
Yeah, y'all got all kind of things to talk about. The latest shooting in Chicago. Papa John's.
Papa John. Yeah, but remember, we try to keep things, we don't want to just keep hammering. We're not a political show or a news show.
No.
We just talk about a little bit of everything. But yeah, the Papa John's thing was weird. I got an email from Papa John yesterday. Because I guess I have ordered from Papa John. So the CEO sent out the current CEO sent out an email to everybody who's, who orders. Oh, we care about people and we
Heard the latest though?
no, I had to jump in the shower. When I woke up, I saw it. They were about to talk about it.
The media company that he was on the phone with kept wanting him to partner with another media that tended to use the N-word. So they're going back and forth, and there's almost like he's trying to explain, I'm not taking sides, but his side of it is they almost made it into him, and the statement was, well, damn, Colonel Sanders used nigga all in. Right. So then, after they got off the conference call, they tried to tell him, hey, you don't...
The extortion part.
Yeah.
But that, I thought there was something new this morning that I was, but the extortion part was this week.
All right, we got to go on.
Man, you gonna rush me now?
I know, I'm sorry. Somebody tell me now.
Hold on. 1 second, because... Okay. We don't need it.
Ready?
So much better on camera.
You're tuned into the one with your girl, Miss Sneaky and my boy. I said it. I said let's
go. And I think they've been hearing us the whole time, by the way, but that's okay because we didn't talk bad about nobody yet. I mean,
that's why they were still. That's why they was on. They
don't know we can hear them. Hold on, let's see what they say. I hear Paul. Wait a minute. What's today gonna be about?
Mika's singing something, but we have no idea.
She wants somebody to tell her something, but I don't know.
Somebody tell me no.
Oh, she wants it now. I get it. Good morning. Happy Monday, everybody.
Yes. Why
does Paul always look like he's ready to
either get talked about or talk about somebody?
Like, just an accessory.
I'm gonna move over. Can you move over lopsided?
Otherwise, have any problems?
I don't know.
Okay, that's definitely not him. That's
Okay,
you.
thanks.
So, don't touch nothing. Don't touch.
No touch.
Don't touch.
No touching.
Please excuse our.
Oh wait, hold on.
technical-
Sorry.
You know what? Why don't you just talk and then I'll find you. Okay.
All right. Get it together.
Is that it? Oh, don't do the mic check.
One
Mic checks.
test. Mic check. Mic.
Is that him?
Is that me?
I can't hear nothing.
I can't hear nothing right now. I don't know what you did. I think I'm gonna
Hello?
start singing.
Well, they can hear us. Can you guys hear? You guys can hear us, and it's all.
The lights. The lights. Oh, sorry. No.
I'm just gonna leave it right there.
Okay. I can't
Hopefully
hear
that's
nothing.
I'm thinking it's this one. Okay,
But if we do that, then don't.
pick a configuration.
I thought.
I be asking this girl all the time, what are the buttons that normally go like when you do your show? What's the thing? And she's
Right.
like, that.
That and that.
But if it's a Wednesday, it might be that and that. We don't know. I certainly don't know. Meanwhile, Paul is like, are you okay over there?
No.
He just-
You said, but if it's a Wednesday,
If it's a Wednesday, it might be a different configuration. We don't know nothing. Can you guys hear us okay? We always depend on our wonderful listeners to let us know what's going on with the feed. So if you're watching on Facebook right now, can you guys hear us properly? Is there echo? Is there whatever? Just let us know. I know, all I really have to do is just wait for my wife to get on, and she gonna be like, "You sound whack." So then that's when I know it sounds terrible. My wife does not.
I got
care.
a bunch of
she
thumbs
is not
up.
a fan of me.
Yes, she is a fan of
Yes,
you.
she is.
My wife will just let me. I mean, she's a fan to an extent, right? But she's also one of those that be like, "Look, you still gotta come over here and take out this trash. I don't care what you sitting with the president right now. Great,
That's
bring
great.
home some milk on your way back from the White House."
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
The laundry needs to be dropped off on your way to the White House. Go drop off this laundry.
Go drop off that laundry. So check it out, guys. We got some few things to talk about. It's Monday.
Yeah.
You know, it's a new week. Is the month just started again? No, we halfway through that. Oh, okay, month's not just starting. We halfway through that, but we still got more stuff going on, and we're in the middle.
You have just witnessed the mindset of a very busy person.
Right.
Is it the beginning of a new month already?
Is it the beginning?
It is the 16th.
It's payday, right?
Yeah.
And I'm late on
Payday.
invoices, but they will be coming today. So don't forget to pay.
Nobody cares about your invoices.
Oh, yeah, they do. Oh, yeah, they do. Oh, yes, they do. If y'all care about this show, y'all be caring about them invoices. Invoices are important to keep the show on, all right?
Touchy. Touche.
Right.
But
right.
that's how it's spelled. So I'm going to pronounce touchy as touchy.
So
Hi,
check it
Paul.
out. Hey, Paul. Can I start off with this real fast?
I'm just an accessory today.
Let's start off with this real fast because it's going on right now, and I want to get it out the way.
Yes.
NAACP convention is happening now, right?
Yes.
So today the time is between 12 and 4 or 5 o'clock for the free NAACP experience, all right?
Yeah.
So this is what I'm going to start saying, and we can have this conversation, and y'all can tell me what I already know what you're going to say, but we're going to talk about it anyway. San Antonio, where the hell you at? Where the hell are you at? Like, for real. Right? So I know Paul had said, what does NAACP even do now? Every time I put up a post, some guy gets on there and it's like, well, what do they do? And it's all these questions. I don't know what it is with San Antonio. Like, we have to have all types of checklists checked off before we go do anything, right? Like, go check out anything. The people that are down here right now are the people that San Antonio have been trying to get to make things happen. Period, right?
Yeah.
So the dude who produced, the actual dude who put Black Panther on, was there yesterday talking, giving out information to everybody who's a playwright, movie right.
That was the Disney panel on So You Want to Be on TV or So You.
No, that wasn't even
that one.
That wasn't even that panel.
Oh,
no.
that wasn't even that panel.
He was
some
there.
extra love.
He was on the schedule.
Okay.
But it was just him.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And he came to answer whatever questions anybody had, to talk about movies and how to get on the movies and what you got to do and all of that stuff coming from the dude who paid for and put on Black Panther, right? The writer of Love and Hip Hop, get this, I want to see if you catch it. The writer of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, of course, she was there. Scripted. Yes.
Don't give away the game.
The writer of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, they have a book coming out, right? So Love and Hip Hop Atlanta.
Further writing.
For the writing.
No, further writing.
Further writing of the reality show, right?
Of the unscripted series.
Right. But they actually have a book coming out.
Would you like to go get a cup of coffee?
I know, right? Calm down.
Don't people get all bored while we over here doing our show.
Bored.
This is
one
of
the
internally
while you're doing your
show.
He's internally boiling right now. He's got something to say. Look, here we go again. I'm going to keep going.
Yes.
Writer of Law and Order, right? The Law and Orders are on here, right?
Right.
Movies that are on TV One and stuff, because obviously they're a sponsor of the NAACP.
Yeah.
So the movie writers there, right?
Yep.
Literally, what do you need? What kind of information? Here's contacts. Here's hookups. Like this kind of stuff is going on.
Right.
Our singers that the One Media, the One Radio put up on stage.
Yep.
One of the singers. Guy is from New York. He is the head of the Black Chamber of New York of whatever, who works directly with the Miss Black America pageant. I need her on the stage. Send me her stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Wonderful.
We've got, it's just, for a city who's always looking for opportunities to get to a different place, to be bigger than you are, to get out of this area of this mindset of people who don't support, to get in front of people who do see vision, who do support, and you're not there. I'm like, I want to slap every last freaking one of you. Like, people who are there are getting opportunities. It might be little to you and huge to them, huge to everybody, but there's opportunities just being handed out, and y'all ain't there. And it's free. Okay, you got to park. Okay, you might have to walk. I get it. But, like, next week, I don't want to hear how, oh, man, Santana don't get nothing. We don't have nothing. We don't have this. Now, I get it. Yes, the advertising side of it is one thing. But you're watching us. So it's not like you don't listen to the One Radio. It's not like you don't have the app downloaded. Hello. It's not like you don't tune in every morning. So I know you've heard me tell you, take your butt to the NAACP convention, right? So you want to wait for me to put up a picture of Anthony and then, oh, he's there? But what have I been saying for the last 5 days? Guys, there's stars coming that I don't have permission to say because they didn't tell me one way or the other.
Right.
But I'm telling you, there's opportunities for y'all to meet and do and see people. I guess you don't believe me. But at the end of the day, there's been a lot of people that have been given an extra oomph. You know what I'm saying? And given a card or a number or whatever to say, you know what? The guy from Black Panther, a young lady went and talked to him, and he was like, look, don't send me your screenplay, because you can't send people who write screenplays, FYI, because then you're going to be talking about they stole your idea from a year now, right? But there's things that you can send them. And he basically was like, this is what I want you to send me. Here's my number, and I'll walk you through it. Right. The dude who put on Black Panther, the biggest movie
of the year.
So again, today's Youth Day. You know, I don't know how many stars or who's going to be there, what's going to happen, if there's going to be stars there, if there's not, if that's what moves you. I don't know what opportunity is out there. I just know that missed opportunities suck. Like, they suck. And you have nobody to blame but yourself if you won't just get in a freaking car and go stand around. Like, I've seen people out there that are those, I'm looking for something, and they was just literally walking around. Hi, my name is. My name is. You write books, they were standing next to the book authors the whole time. My name is. There's 100 authors, 100 black authors down here. From all the way from very, very famous authors to self-publishing authors. Right? I mean.
All right, so as you can see, Nika's incredibly passionate about this. Not only because we've been talking about it for weeks now, right? But to be in a situation where you're seeing, right, firsthand that opportunities only present themselves or are only won by people who show up, and her city that she loves and nurtures and cares for, and you guys have made the voice of, right, is not showing up and is not getting those opportunities and is not availing itself of prime things that are happening in your own backyard because of whatever the reason.
Whatever.
She is incredibly distraught and disheartened. I just got here, so I'm not there with you guys just yet. You know what I mean? Because I went, and I'm going today, and I'll be there tomorrow. And thank you to the one for giving me the opportunity and the blessing to be able to walk in there. But you guys could go, and it's free, and it's easy, and it's a door that you could easily open, walk through, and you never know. Remember last week we were talking about make your friends before you need them. You don't know if you're going to walk in. I mean, just a celebrity, just to look around and be like a celebrity watcher and whatever, okay, whatever for that. But truthfully, if you are in any industry, and I'm telling you from experience, because she was there all day yesterday, I was there with her on Saturday, I'll be there today, be there tomorrow, but just even looking on the opening day where not even every booth is populated, to understand that there is opportunity in every industry, people to talk to in every industry. I sat and talked with a dentist for like 20 minutes. Like, okay, so what's go? Oh, well, we're trying to give people in San Antonio, children in San Antonio, the opportunity to be able to have dentistry, whether they could afford it or not. I didn't even know these people existed. You might have. You told me that you did know that they existed. I didn't know they existed. Did you? If you did not, you would have if you went to the NAACP experience this weekend. Dentistry, housing, health, pregnancy prevention. Of course, our military always shows up to events like this.
That right there is in the health area. Then you have a shopping area, which I was going to show you guys this beautiful bag that I got. Cool that is. I mean, it's hand painted, hand done. The girl is actually from Atlanta, but she travels everywhere. Essence Festival, here, there, the other. It's just, and being around people who understand the supporting of each other. You know, because again, we're not used to that either. So the fact that I'm coming to support you just because you're black, and then I want to know what else you do after that. Like, it's a different mindset of folks, because I'm not talking to people from San Antonio because ain't nobody from San Antonio there. When I tell you the NAACP experience is literally for the hometown, so there's two different parts of the convention. You've got the actual convention with workshops and dinners and banquets and all that. So there's 10,000 people signed up for the convention part. The experience part is for the city in which the convention's in.
That's like a thank you to the city.
100 people, man. It's in an area where 2,000 people can fit. 100 people. Roland Martin's panel, 100 people were there. When Anthony was there, 100 people. Curtis Blow, 75 people. Like, sad. But on the other side, I get it. Oh, we didn't hear about it. The marketing was bad. Boom, boom, boom. I know I told you, and if you tuned in here, you just didn't either heed my words or felt like it was important.
What is it that we can put up a post that we can have, all of our shows consistently? I mean, last I looked, I haven't looked in a while, but by the time the 24-hour period comes up, there's 1,000 people watch our show, right? So how there only 100 people at the thing when 1,000 people have heard?
Now here's the key thing. Now I'm gonna tell you the realness about it. When they say marketing and advertising is real and people they're not on every level, the folks that were out there were our people. There were San Antonio people that have been at the convention center, are people who listen to the one.
There you go.
So
we appreciate you guys.
So I know we going, but not all of us is going, and we're not. And I'm like.
So here's what you got to do today. NAACP convention is in town today. And tomorrow it's over, right? Tomorrow it's here. Tomorrow night it is over.
The experience, the free experience is over. It's actually over on Wednesday. Wednesday will be the final fun dinner. You can buy tickets to that as well. So if you don't have, the tickets for the whole conference, you can get in there. So that's the Freedom Fun Dinner on Wednesday night. And they're having their farewell awards and stuff like that throughout the day. But that's for the people with the ticket holders. But the free experience till Tuesday. Lots of good conversations going to happen today. Like I said, youth, all of the youth projects that have been going on since the beginning of the week. They'll be sharing those and the information done. Wonderful. So if you have kids, this is a way for the kids can see people that look the age of them and look like them and see projects and things that they've already accomplished and get some inspiration through that. I talked to like 6 kids yesterday of wanting to do music and wanting to do talk shows and wanting to do, they 14 and they got more drive than half the adults out here. Right. They were out there networking.
They were out there networking.
They were out there networking. Yes, I had, and here's the kicker. I had people from Atlanta coming up to me like, radio this, like what opportunities do you have for me? And I'm thinking, girl, you live in Atlanta. People from other cities are coming looking for opportunities when our own city ain't even out here looking for opportunities. And there you have it. So
here's your assignment for today. Tell 2 friends, right? So you're already in the know about what's going on because we are telling you what's going on. Now your assignment for today is not only to go and hang out at the NAACP experience for free, but tell 2 friends. Yep. And then ask them to tell 2 friends. And let's really show out for the last couple of days of this experience.
And make sure you pick up a book. This is the official book of everything that's going on and everybody that helped and everybody who's there. All your sponsors. The One Media Hub has a page in the book, and we have a booth because we are the official stage sponsor of the National Convention. This is why our people that we've chosen are performing up on that stage.
Performing live. Yeah.
And nothing but good. Like I've just heard nothing but oh my goodness, you got people filming. And let me tell you about opportunity and missed opportunity and how God works. Like you never know what's gonna happen. James and Monica Love did a 20-minute set right before Roland Martin's panel. Yeah. The way it's set up is literally just to do a set, so it's not set up like concert-wise. So there's not a speaker where they can hear themselves. It's not like the perfect conditions for the performer, right? So they were like, man, we don't think it sounded good, which most people, it sounded great, trust me, right? It sounded great, trust me. Day goes on, next thing you know, Roland Martin's ready to go out. Well, where are we going? Well, we had some homies there that was, you know, the connection of all of the stuff, everybody being connected, they ended up at Jamaica, which is one of our advertisers, listening to Monica Love and James in their full performance with their whole band.
There you go.
Roland Martin streamed it on his platform. Over 13,000 people have now watched that performance of this band is terrific, saying that they're at Jamaica, national platform. You know, because of your 20-minute performance that you thought sucked. Right. There's an open door of what, and who knows what goes from that. Yep. You know, the girl they want her to go to perform at the Black freaking America pageant. You don't know what's gonna come from that. First, they gotta fly you there. Then you gotta perform in front of a whole bunch of different people, and you don't know what's gonna come from that. But all that because you took 20 minutes to come get on the stage real quick. Right. So what's going to happen if you take a few minutes just to come walk in the door and shake some hands? What will come from that? And even if nothing comes from that, I bet you're still going to get something from that.
You'll get an experience.
You'll get an experience,
and maybe you'll also get that little nudge to be able to do that. You know, because that's a muscle too, right? To be able to get over that hump of, oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm going to go, and then getting over that. That's also a muscle that you have to work, the ability to get over the hump, get over your fears, and get over your thing. You
your
have
anxiety,
to keep doing that.
all of that.
Anything, you will have conquered that one thing today.
I was sitting up there in awe because everybody that I meet, I just automatically assume is big, right? You don't know their status. Everybody that meets me, they automatically assume I'm big, right? Let's work with it. You don't know no different.
This chick is 4-0.
You don't know no different.
I'm sorry. No, that's a different big. That's a different big.
I had 2 people just be like, man, you the next star. Like, I see it, and in my mind, I'm thinking, I don't know who you is, right?
Yeah.
But
thank you.
This is someone who don't live here, that's not from here, that's around stars all the time, and it's like, oh yeah, chess. Just keep it pushing. Yep. So sometimes it's even the encouragement from people that we're around, folks that are always either not supporting or talking back or whatever, all that mess because we in the city that we live in. But just think of going to somewhere who's someone who works with Aretha Franklin and all these big stars, and they say, oh, you got what they got. You keep pushing. Maybe that's all you need.
Maybe that's all you need.
And you can get it there. So, all right, on to the next. On to the next. Don't miss your opportunity.
Yeah, do your assignment. Tell 2 people and tell them to tell 2 people.
Yeah. So Paul came today, so I'm thinking Trump did something. I don't know. He's real quiet. He just walked in.
It's actually some of the biggest news anywhere, everywhere right now is that Trump and Putin together today.
Hanging out?
It's a big deal, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do my thing today a little bit different. So I'm gonna ask questions and then I'm gonna let y'all do it. So there's a couple things.
Basically, it's his show, right?
Yes. Well, y'all put me in the middle today, so I figured I must have got promoted.
No, this is now where all our guests sit. But you know what? Honestly, I'm not feeling this new format right now.
Yeah, I just came in and changed the format. You know,
that was so funny. We're going to do things a little differently on my show this morning. I'm going to ask the questions and you tell me. That is freaking hilarious, Paul. We'll allow you to ask a question, though.
Okay.
Absolutely. Give us one.
All right. Trump is meeting with Putin.
Okay.
So which one is it? When Trump first got in office, he's going to start World War 19, 20, all the way up through the end of the destruction of the world. He doesn't need to be going out doing this. Now he's talking with Putin, he's talking with China, and they say, well, he shouldn't do that. So which one is it? Is he supposed to be, he's friends, and he's too friendly with Putin. So which one is it? Is he supposed to talk to them, or is he supposed to not talk to them? Is he starting the war, or is he being too much kissing butt? Which one is it?
Zay Zay? Which one is it?
So it seems like this is the latest Republican talking point, right? Mm-hmm. So the latest, it's what it is. Exactly what you just asked me is what kind of all the Republicans are asking this week, right? Okay. Well, he said that he was gonna. I mean, I heard it word for word almost this morning on CNN, right? Mm-hmm. So what is it? You know, Republicans are saying right now that he was supposed to have, or they used to say. Before he got in office, that he was going to start the next war, and then he's talking to this dictator and that dictator. I mean, it's the latest thing. I obviously, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not the end all be. Like, I don't know everything. I certainly can only go by what the results of a thing are, right? So if he's currently doing all these things, results are what's going to really dictate whether or not this is a decent presidency or a bad presidency or a good presidency. It's about what it all resulted in. Mm-hmm. But there's certainly, the signs of WTF when you look at what he's doing, with dissing all our friends and not cuddling up. That's unfair. But, making friends with, people that we're not, that are competitors, like fiercer competitors than other competitors, because that's his word now. His term is that, Russia is not our enemy; they're our competitor, right? And North Korea is not our enemy; they're our competitors. But then he calls the European Union our foe, which is something else, and I don't get. So our friends are now our foes, and our foes are now just our competitors. That's a different thing, right? So that's also the wouldn't that be called democratic talking points of the week are also kind of what I just said too. So it really depends, right?
And I appreciate you saying that, but I don't get anything that I ask about. I don't get it from somebody else. I'm just noticing.
I wasn't disrespecting, but it just almost seems like you guys are on the same wavelength, right?
Well, that's the question.
Because people that think the same or think along the same lines, just like most people. Most people on the opposite side think, okay, this guy is racist, and everybody tends to fall into that category at some level or other. So like-minded people tend to say and
I think he just thinks he has white privilege. I don't think I won't call him racist. I'm just going to think he has an extreme case of white privilegedness.
No, I think he's racist. I mean, I'm just being honest. On some level, I think the president is
on some level we not all racist.
Maybe. I won't. I mean, I have to do a deep dive into that. But when you're saying that this was he said this weekend, Friday, I think it was. Immigration is ruining Europe.
Well, hold on a minute. No. I can make a point of that. Look at the problems that France has.
Immigration is ruining Europe. That's
uninhibited.
No, he didn't say that. He said immigration is ruining Europe.
Look at France.
So if you're part of Europe and you're migrating to different parts, that's immigration. He's not thinking that. He's thinking brown people are ruining Europe.
That's
what he's thinking.
Right. And the problem,
or maybe even poor people
right.
are because you're talking about Kosovo. He's not even also talking about not just the migrants. Refugees. All right, so those are poor people, but he's probably conflating that to immigration as well. But I don't know. I don't know that that's what he's doing. Go ahead. Okay. You sir down front.
Thank you. When he speaks of immigration ruining Europe, he is speaking of such places as France they took in all these refugees. Now, if you go down to the Louvre, which is one of the most famous places in France, they have massive amounts of homeless, almost pop-up villages. Their rape, their murder, their burglary rates have skyrocketed through the roof.
But I assume some are good people.
I don't care if they're good people or not, but because they decided they were going to open their doors and let everybody in based on what we're talking about now, hey, we need to help these people. Now they have a problem that they can't get rid of. There's some parts of France and England you can't even go into because of the immigration that happened, and they brought their culture, set up their own basically little countries inside these cities, and now the police can't even police them. So there is something to be said about uninhibited immigration. Now you can say, well, he should have added that word or this, but the bottom line is true. So where do you go from there? Because now how do you undo this?
Okay, I'm guessing that's a French issue to an extent, right? And not to dismiss it, but it is a French issue. So in the situation where anything uninhibited or anything that's just left to run amok is going to end in a way that you probably don't want it to end, right? If you were going to bring in refugees in mass numbers, which is kind of immigration, but it's a different thing, right? Because these people are fleeing for their lives. Then if you're going to allow them to come in, then maybe you should also have some sort of system in place to ensure that certain things are going to be met, right? For instance, can we feed these people? Can we clothe these people? Can we truly help these people as opposed to just allowing them into the country and, okay, you're on your own, right?
Isn't that what we're doing here now, though? Just let them come across the border, catch and release, and like, hey, they're here, let's just make them legal. Isn't that the exact same thing we're doing right now? I think the answer is yes.
I don't.
He did say catch and release.
That's the official term for what they do. Yeah, they catch them, write them a ticket, and let them go.
After a certain amount of days, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I love these yells.
No, yeah. I mean, I want to be fair, right? Because this is
so. How do we?
It's
control
a conversation.
Beatrix says what people fail to understand.
If we see a model that's happening somewhere else that's going terribly wrong, and it's not just France. It's England. It's France. It's Germany. Germany has the same problem. So if you got 3 countries that have had uninhibited and goodness of the heart, if you want to call it that, immigration, as everybody's saying we should have, and they have these problems, how do we avoid that?
Okay. The one thing that we cannot do is conflate what's happening, what you said is happening in France with what's happening here, right? So there aren't a bunch of pop-up cities just showing up in our nation's capital and a bunch of other things with a bunch of immigrants and stuff like that, right? Or a bunch of refugees, not immigrants. Don't say that because that's a different.
Sorry, that's the correct term.
Hold on a second. Okay. All right, fine. If you're crossing the border and you're in here illegally and you did that misdemeanor and then you're allowed to stay, because that's another thing that you could actually do, right? Is put them on a plane and send them back to where they came from while you wait trial. And if you truly want to be here, then you come back for your trial, and I can see that.
And they get hired.
Do that,
at
right?
Jobs.
Right. So and then none of those people are ever. So it's the immigrant that gets put in jail, not the person employer that hired the immigrant or the illegal
worker.
Yeah, the I don't even want to call them illegal at this point, the undocumented worker or whatever you want to say, right? Okay.
So plenty of them,
but you can't conflate the two things, right? Because we don't have pop-up cities all over our capitals of tens or hundreds of thousands of refugees that we said we'll bring you in and we will help you, and then just kind of let them do whatever it is that they want to do and don't really get the help. Because you got to understand, if somebody is coming through, crossing a border in mass droves, right, which it's not necessarily the same kind of thing coming from Honduras. Yes, they're coming, but not in the type of droves that you're getting from Syria and stuff like that. People who basically just have nothing, excuse me, and are in fear for their lives and are leaving tens and hundreds of thousands at a time, right? From a country that is war. I mean, war torn isn't even the term.
It's not even the term.
It is decimated, that country, right? Okay. So if those people are being allowed into Germany, to France, to, you know, wherever else they're seeking asylum, that's a different thing. Okay. So if you say as a country, I am going to help you, it needs to be more than I'm just going to let you in. Right? It needs to be like, because you know that these people are coming with nothing.
Right.
They don't have a social security number. They don't have they're going to try to build, you know, with other like-minded people and say,
Absolutely.
okay, like, you know, like-minded people, right? And that are on the same wavelength. They're going to try to build. And that's what New York City ghettos were all about in the 1800s and stuff like that. All the Irish were together and all the Italians were together and all the Spanish were together and all the black people were together. The segregation wasn't dictated. It was the opportunity. Hey, you know what? You just like me. You know, we can make this pizza. We can make this stuff or whatever. We can create a life together because I understand you. Let's get this area together and, you know, let's build. How can I do that with my Japanese brothers and sisters? There's a
language barrier. There's an understanding barrier.
Exactly.
There's a whatever.
And a cultural barrier. Like, why are you kneeling all of a sudden? Like, what happened?
What's going on?
Why are you bowing at me?
And see, the problem that I have with it is that's all fine and dandy or whatever. But where I see the trickle down come from, right? Because we're not just talking about the people who are crossing the border where this problem is at. We talking about people driving around in San Antonio, and because you talking Spanish, now I'm questioning where you're from. To me, that is racist, prejudice, whatever you want to call it, and ridiculous.
Right.
That's
so
when
that's
it's
not
bad.
The same. That's
when
not
you go
the same.
into the airport and because you are speaking Spanish, that's just like saying because you black, because you look flamboyantly, you know, whatever, I'm going to put you in this category. That's where the prejudiceness and all that stuff comes from. If you were to do stuff and you treated everyone the same, I'm not hearing this stuff over where the white folk border is. Not hearing this conversation. We've got borders all over. Why are we only concentrating on the Mexican border? Why are we not having the same?
Canadians are not fleeing to the United States. That's why.
Yeah, I'm sure there is. I'm sure there's stuff going on over there. I guarantee it. But it's not in the news. It's not a part of the rhetoric, so they're not going to give it to you. Period.
Two things. First off, the countries that I spoke of are not the way you caged it. You were saying like, oh, they invited them in, or we're taking refugees. No, they just made a choice to open their borders. There's a difference.
I don't think they made a choice to open their borders.
No, they did. I think that they said Merkel said it, and she's even recanting now. The Prime Minister of England said it, and the President of France said it. Hey, we're going to let these people in. They didn't have a plan to bring certain numbers in and to check them. They just allowed them inside their borders. And along with that, and this goes back to what you were just saying about speaking Spanish and doing this. Yeah, there's no problem with that. But your host country, the quickest way to undermine a nation is to let the people of that nation. In other words, if you come to the United States, you got to be an American first. So if you're Mexican American, yes, you're supposed to embrace your heritage. You're supposed to keep it up, but you still got to be an American first. And this country is increasingly becoming a nation of people with individual goals, ideologies with inside borders. And that's going to cause conflict at some time. If you're not an American first, there will not be an America at some point. Because all you're going to have is fighting factions. Because everybody's going to promote their lifestyle, their ideology, their religion. Versus we're an American under this umbrella, and we're free to practice everything that comes with us. You can't have both, because that's why you got independent countries.
Okay. Okay. So the only I understand and agree with some of what you just said, right? No, I agree with some of what you just said. The only thing that's dangerous about some of what you just said, about another part of what you just said, is that it's I don't think it's very productive to frame. I don't want to say this in a
wrong way.
I don't want to say it in the wrong way. Okay, Americans are a patchwork of different cultures, different races. There is no like real American culture without other cultures creating it, right? Okay. So America is a patchwork of that. We lost Nika. Excuse me. America is a patchwork of different cultures. So I think it's dangerous to kind of make it feel like you have to be American first. I mean, to say things like you have to be American first, coming here and bringing your culture and introducing it into the salad. You know, we're not really a melting pot, right? It's more like a tossed salad.
That's kind of dangerous. You're on the edge there with that one.
Right.
Okay.
It's not. But for cultures to live side by side and interact with each other and create things together, once you start separating those cultures and saying that that's not American, I think is dangerous.
I'm not asking you to separate them. I'm asking you to use Americanism. And I'm not even going to say nationalism, because nationalism kind of goes down a dark path. That's a slippery slope. Right. But you have to have a thread that ties everybody. It's almost like, look at America as a DNA string. Each individual piece of that DNA in itself doesn't exist without the string being tied together. So in order to have an America, you have to have a diverse culture. You have to have a diverse population. Right. But they have to understand that they have to work together for the greater good of everybody that's here. That's all I'm asking.
Sure.
So when we get so compartmentalized to where we're worried about only Hispanic rights to the exclusion of anything that might be better for the country.
Do you think that's happening?
I think we're becoming more and more polarized, because even with the immigration issue, I very seldom hear somebody say, well, what's good for the country? I hear them say, what's good for the immigrant? Okay, in other words, if you just say, you know what, we're just going to let Mexico fly in here, at what point does that start to hurt what America is?
Okay, see, that's one thing also. That's another thing also that I think we all need to kind of get clear. Right. Okay. So not every Hispanic person. I mean, I hear the word Hispanic around here a lot. On the East Coast, we say Latino more than anything else. But not every Spanish-speaking person is Mexican. That's the first thing. Second thing is that we have a wave of refugees that are trying to get across our southern border. They are not Mexican. They are from Honduras. They are from Ecuador. They are from different countries. Mm-hmm. One thing that really kind of upsets people that don't live in the United States but do live in this hemisphere sometimes, and I've heard this many, many times, and I used to always think, what's the big deal? Is that if you live in the United States, then you're American. But there is a North America and there is a South America, and we are the United States of America, right? So it's a different country. But somehow, just in the language, we say if you're in the United States, then you're American. But if you're in Mexico, then you're Mexican, not American. Right. They're American.
Well,
Costa Ricans, no, they're not actually. They're Central American,
okay,
right? But they're American, right?
At the end of the day,
not United States citizens, right? Not from the United States of America, but Canadians are Americans because they're in the North America, right? So it's just in the language. I mean, it turns into another thing, and we don't have to get into that.
But it makes absolute sense.
Understanding and becoming educated about a thing truly helps someone to be informed about a thing and make proper decisions. Okay, so I mean, it's not to disparage you in any way. You're an amazing dude, and personally, we're great. However, that kind of talk perpetuates an ignorance that I think we need to kind of stop.
Okay, right? Well, what part of it are you saying that perpetuates that? So I can.
Well, you were just saying, this thing and what about the immigrants and the whatever and Mexicans. If we just open it up and let all Mexicans come in here, you just said that. That's not what's happening, right? Let me cage it. So yes, there are a lot of Mexicans that live in
this is one of the problems though with this conversation, because again, when you're talking about race, when you're talking about people's heritage, you're talking about where they're from, if you don't say it correctly, that upsets people. we are generalizing when we say Mexicans, or if you're not American, or make America great again, because like you said, there's more than just the United States of America.
I think you're getting too much into semantics with the American thing, because people understand
because there's power in language, right?
But there's power in language. And that's what I'm going to say. There's power in language.
From his point forward, I would say United States citizen or non-United States citizen.
Right.
Because
and you know what? And the rest of the world says American. Like, oh, you're American, right? And
it's like
even in the United, if I go back to the Dominican Republic, if I go back to the Dominican Republic and be with my family and friends or what have you, oh, he's American. Okay.
Is this racist? But I'm planning on going to the DR, and I'll
go to the DR. Enjoy it. Have a great time.
I could really use some help.
Go. I got you. Enjoy it.
And Tyrone was saying, the America conversation is hard to have with most because the North-South Central connections aren't made on a continental level.
Right.
But conversation. That is true, like regardless of what, because that's why Trump has so much issues, because he doesn't know how to conversate. He don't know how to talk very well to let the general public understand what he's trying to say. I've got Beatrix on here trying to say, that's what Trump was trying to say. You over here saying, that's what Trump was trying to say. Well, Trump need to learn how to figure out how to say it for himself, so you don't have a whole bunch of people getting a different message from one sentence. That's his fault. It is his job as president to be able to convey a message to his people, and he cannot do that.
He knows words. So half of the country gets the message. And
I'm gonna tell you this: when you have a literal conversation of people, it's not half. It ain't half. And 4 or 5 of different folks.
Half of voters, but I wouldn't say half.
And we can't even say that. And thank you, voters, because voters is only less than 30% of our America. So you can't say the people like all of us, because everybody don't vote.
And we don't
so
know.
You got to say less than a quarter of percent of America. So let's stop. Again, the rhetoric of everybody. No, everybody didn't want him. Less than 20% of our America wanted this man to run America. That's the bottom line. Which is why we are always.
70% of us were out to lunch when it came time to vote.
And the simple fact of the matter, and on top of that, he didn't even win the popular vote. So it's just electoral vote. So we need to stop saying that America wants this man, because America didn't want him.
Okay. Again, two things.
Rhetoric.
This is my line. 2 things now. However you want to say it, that's how America's always voted. So this is not unique to this president. Every president that's been elected has got there the same way.
Yes.
So America did want it within America's framework of how they vote and who many.
But we don't even want that framework.
The people that the people that lose say they don't want the framework.
No.
When they win, it's fine. Now that aside, let me break down this immigration thing to a smaller thing, since everything tends to be local.
Okay.
You have family members.
Okay. Yeah.
You got a house.
Yeah.
You got family members coming in from outside the country. You probably understand this better than at what point does your house not able to accommodate all the family members that want to come?
That's right, B.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was reading this thing.
No, I'm just saying. So at some point, regardless of where they're from, who they are, how they got here, what's going on, at some point your household, without them contributing, can only support so many of your family members. You only got so many places to sleep. But you get what I'm saying. And that's all I'm saying. The immigration situation comes to when it comes to America. At some point, it starts to be hurtful to the country. Now, do I think we need immigrants? Yes, I do. Farmers are complaining about it right now. There is a way to work this out, but we've got to take the emotion out of what is best for the people and for the country, because without the country being healthy, the people are going to go right back to the situation they just came from.
Yeah. So I agree with that.
Yeah.
Right. I agree that things have to be done in a measured fashion.
That's
right.
all I'm asking.
Mm-hmm. Jesus.
That's all I'm asking. I agree that everything needs to be done in a measured fashion, to the exclusion of oppression.
Yes.
Okay.
And you agree with that.
I agree with that.
To the exclusion of oppression. So what happens is, in a lot of ways, right now, the ones that are at the mercy of our immigration policies, or our even refugee policies, or our asylum policies, are being oppressed. And that is, I think, the crux of not only the debate but the outcry.
Okay, so
they're being oppressed.
How?
Well,
I mean, if you tell me how, I can say, okay, well, how can we change that? But by oppression, you mean what? When they come in, they are stopped, they are detained, they're oppressed.
Torn away from their children. They are put hundreds of, or some cases, thousands of miles away from their family members. And then when it comes time, when even a judge says, no, you got to put them back together.
You can't find them.
Okay. And then we'll figure it out.
Okay.
So that's just one example of the oppression, saying, right? So even still, the judge said, do this, and even still, it's not done. Okay, and you know, and that bothers me too, because there's no consequence, right?
There's no consequence, and let's be realistic. That was a political move. The judge knew it couldn't be moved that fast. But that aside,
it could have been a political move. Even still, though, you tore them apart that quickly. You should be able to put them back together.
Hold on a minute. It's not like we went to Mexico and tore these families apart.
Okay, you're going back to Mexico. These people are from Honduras. These people are from Ecuador. These people are seeking. These people are seeking asylum,
which is illegal.
Which is legal. These people are.
They're not just seeking asylum.
But majority of them are.
No,
though.
they're not.
I didn't say all of them. I didn't say all of them are. But you're talking about people that are seeking asylum, and you're calling just saying they're Mexicans.
And do you know
the Mexican part of it is also a percentage?
Do you know the requirements for seeking asylum? Being poor is not a reason to seek asylum.
Oh my gosh!
Hold on a minute. This is true. Look at the asylum laws in the United States. You have to be coming from an oppressed by the government, not by drug.
No, that's not true. No, that's not true. No, that's not true. Because you can seek asylum because you're being targeted by violence against your family, violence against your
through government.
What about when somebody is seeking religious asylum? Does that have anything to do with politics? Does that so there are different types of?
Yeah, but yes, it does, because why can't you practice your religion in a country that you're in? There's only one reason: government won't let you.
Okay, continue your. And I just want to keep listening to you. I don't want to turn my back on you.
No.
To look these up, right? No.
I understand.
I want to because we have the entirety of human knowledge right here in front of us, right?
Here.
So we can look this up together.
Okay.
And we can search for the edge together, right?
I got you.
Okay. So go ahead.
They're oppressed by the country that they have fled, not the United States. I need to be in the studio. It's a matter of perception. What is the difference in saying African American when most of us are Black American? Because when people come from Africa, they'll tell you are not African. All of this is true. I've been saying that. I've been saying that I'm American. I don't know what anything look like but America.
So I should really say I'm an American Black?
I mean, however you want to call it. Like, I mean, but I'm not going to say I'm from Africa. I don't know. None of my family's from Africa. All my folks was from Louisiana.
You need to get on 23andMe.
I'm just saying. It goes back real far. My third.
Somebody told me the other day, man, I ain't giving them my DNA.
Yeah, I ain't either. I ain't giving them
that's because he got a case pending and stuff. That's why.
Look, I read one article about it, and I'm sticking with it. They like, shoot, they gonna try to give you as much whiteness in your stuff and take away your true Black heritage as possible. Well, I believe that.
They did the reverse with me.
I believe
that.
Look
at me and figure I'm mostly white. I'm actually mostly Black.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I believe that. They gonna try to tell everybody that they got some white in them, just so.
I'm mostly American.
Meanwhile, they need to be telling everybody white they got some Black in them. And that most of them, including 23andMe, they don't even have the whole list of heritage. They only have like half the list. So then they just try to piece you in, because if they don't have the actual where you're actually from, they'll just put you in a different group because they don't have that listed. So you're really not even finding out your real heritage.
Well, it said 2 to 3% of me was unidentifiable.
Yeah, because they don't have the. They don't have.
No, they actually told me that. True story.
Yeah.
3% unidentifiable.
Because they don't use all of it. They said it. They don't use all of the stuff. So they're going to put you either in the closest category or whatever. They said that. So why you going to send something to somebody that said that they don't even have all the info? We going to give you something of what we think. Nah, I'm good. I know what my parents look like, and my grandparents look like, and my grandparents look like, and my great-great-great-great-great-grandparents look like.
Okay.
And halfway down the line, one was white. His name is Horny Cleaver. He's not white, but was very.
His name is Horny.
Paul color.
Horny Cleaver.
Horny Cleaver. My great-great-great-grandfather.
Yep. Know who else was horny?
My daddy.
The great Hezekiah Zaza.
I was like, my daddy. Daddy Cleaver. Call him by his nickname. All right, what are we looking at, man? We got to start talking about Trump. I'm done with my Trump talk.
It's not about Trump. This is now. I'm just looking up the asylum.
Well, between me and you, they and what do you think about this while he's doing his research? So with the whole Russian thing, because they're supposed to be in collusion and all this, well, they indicted 12 Russians. Well, at first they indicted the Russian companies, and one of the companies came to court and said, okay, let's have the what is it? Discovery. Government said, no, we can't do that because it's an ongoing investigation. So they came back and they indicted 12 Russian individuals. And it had nothing to do. This was before the election. Trump wasn't even the candidate yet. So yeah, they've indicted 12 people for collusion and tampering, but the election hadn't even happened yet. So at what point do we stop this?
They wasting all our money and just for something that you already know the answer to. That's
and
the
you know we all do that, right? We do it to Russia, we do it to Israel. They try to do it to us.
Whatever relationships is going on and whatever's going on, everybody's aware of. It's all done. Again,
Trump is sitting up there right now.
Media is gonna show what media wants to show. Whatever is going on here and they're talking about, I can guarantee you is a different story that they're playing in Russia, which is a different story that they're playing in China. So it's all a chess game, and I don't believe crap that they tell us.
Why is everybody so upset about it, and why are we hanging on to it, and why is the government trying to promote it?
Because they did something wrong.
Because there was an attack on our country, right? So there's an attack on our country in any way, then you have to not only investigate it to see how it happened, but you also want to prevent it again in the future, right? So there are but that doesn't mean there's always going to be crime. That don't mean you got to. There's always going to be crime. Let's not put nobody else in jail because there's always going to be crime.
There's always going to kill another black man.
They've always investigated crime. Why is it this time they went after this? Because let's be honest, there's been espionage, and we're over in Russia doing it. They're over here doing it.
The same reason why they indicted them 6 cops for killing the black man, but the cops didn't go to jail, to appease America. To appease the people.
There was an attack on our country, and we want to prevent that again from happening in the future.
Espionage.
But it doesn't matter.
So just because somebody else does it too, that means that we're supposed to just let it happen.
Okay, so when we do it, what are we supposed to do? So that's like our country.
So you don't think that they investigate when we do shit?
Yeah.
Excuse my language.
But sorry. You never cuss. Paul, you didn't make this man cuss. He don't never cuss.
You don't think that they investigate when we do things?
Well, I can tell you, it's not investigated as vigorously when.
We don't know that because we're not in the media over there.
Obama, everybody does it, but it came to light that Obama had put something in to try to influence the Israel election because he didn't want Netanyahu being reelected. It came up. Nobody made a big deal about it over here.
Nobody here, but they did it over there.
Because we're the ones that did it. But if they did it over there, you don't know that they didn't make a big deal.
They did about it. That's why it came out.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the whole thing. The media of whatever it is.
This goes back.
I'm not saying that it's right or wrong. I'm not saying what's right or wrong. I'm just saying if there's a thing, then you investigate it and you try to figure out what's happening. Don't just look
To me, it's not against the Democrat and Republican. It's against government versus the people. It ain't, man, Democrat and Republican lay in the same bed. They all the same situation.
Like a defense attorney and a prosecuting attorney.
It's the same. They work in the same office.
And then they
one
argue
goes
about it.
One goes right, one goes left. Where you want to go, the Republicans over there, but they all in the same office. They use the same electricity bill. They on the same internet. This is the same government. So this is what I'm. Why are Republicans and Democrats fighting against each other when it's the same freaking government and they're gonna do whatever they want to do? We are watching them do whatever they want to do. They have gone all across the board of everything they're doing in government. The people have screamed no. 70-some% no. Congress does it anyway. 80% no. The people who vote, the white folks, the white folks saying they're not doing what y'all want. Who cares? Why are we fighting Republican versus Democrat when we should be fighting government versus people? The whole government and the whole people need to be coming together to say what is best for us.
That same thing right
there. Man, that government is crap.
That was essentially why the United States was formed, and we split from England because of what you just said.
They lied. They look. Everything they telling you is just a plot and a plan and a chess game for them to do what the hell they want to do. They want you to argue, us to argue about this stuff, so they can continue to go do some other crap. The answer is for us to take more control and stop letting our council people on our mayor and but that's because those are our people. Those are but the people who were voting for even right now are not people that we're even putting in office. When we have these conversations and we say, find somebody and raise them up to be. There is a young man that is 32 years old right now. He wants to be the next councilman. I'm like, where are my men at? We need to be on this cat, teaching, studying, figuring out whatever it needs to be, grooming this man so he's working for us. Right.
Well, if we are literally, will you support me?
I probably would, because I know that you actually care about people. And you actually care about small business because you got one. You actually care about the economy because you're with it. So I know that the decisions that you make would actually go towards helping people.
Right.
So I would.
Right.
The people that we have had right now have already been groomed and I didn't want Hillary. Hillary's been in bed since before her husband was in office. She's already in that situation. We've got to put people that we trust, that we love, that we support. That's why this is a conversation that Roland Martin had that only 100 people showed up to. We don't, black people, he wanted to combat me because I said, look, we spend money. You know, I don't understand. I think black people know that we got money. It's in black and white that we spend over $1 trillion a year. They talk about it all the time. You really think we watch nothing but millionaires on TV? Every entertainer, every football player, every athlete, we see millionaires constantly. But what we don't see is our money going into places that are outside of entertainment, right? How many people are writing $100,000 checks to the next elected official? How many black people are writing $5,000, $10,000, $1,000, $100 checks to make sure the next councilman is prepared and ready and knows our issues because they work for us? President Trump works for us, but we don't have enough people that stand up tall that can grab their nuts and say, no, we will not allow you to do this because the people said no. Y'all bow to people who are rich. Oh, they rich, so we got to vote them in. You bow to people that got this fake power, and then we stuck with the same crap when really we could use our resources, our smarts, our money, our everything, and get the folks that will change the face of the government like that. Less than 32% of people vote, boo. Less. We could change the face of the government in 2 weeks because early voting actually starts tomorrow for midterm elections for folks that had to not be in whatever. So we've got an election that starts tomorrow.
Right.
Tomorrow.
How many of us knew that?
Tomorrow. I got one of the guys coming in.
There's an election today for the Uresti seat.
That's what I'm saying. It starts today. Today. Well, I'm sorry. Early voting started today. The Uresti seat is exactly who that is, and the guy running against him is coming in tomorrow. But early voting's already started for that.
Excuse my ignorance. What early voting for what?
Carlos Uresti was a representative, U.S. representative. Is that what he was?
Was he at the state level or federal level?
No, he's a national representative.
So he's a federal
including
level.
Bexar County and some other counties.
Okay.
Unfortunately, he became involved, or he was convicted of. I'm just telling you what the facts.
Sure.
I'm not adding anything. He was convicted of basically money laundering and scamming investors in a fracking company. So he had to resign his seat. He, just for full disclosure, still claims his innocence.
State Senate District 19. That must be Tyrone putting this on here.
So they have to have a special election to fill his seat.
Oh, I see.
So to finish out his term. So that's how this came about now.
Yes, and that's exactly right.
Okay.
So that's what that is. That's actually early voting has started today. And
in District 12?
District.
I don't know. He was a Democrat.
Yeah. There's no, and I know a lot of it is District 2. A lot of it is in a lot of the area. It is Bexar County, but a lot of the area is that they're trying to hit to, of course, is District 2 as well. So there is something about that. We'll find out more information tomorrow when they come in.
So anybody who lives in Bexar County can vote.
Yes.
And the other counties, but I just know about Bexar County because that's where I live.
Okay.
So that to me is the answer. Like literally, that was one thing that he said. Again, When we were talking about money, he's like, people, we don't support each other in those particular ways. We're great for going to a movie, going to a club, going to comedy, going to buy shoes, going to buy this, going to buy that. But when it comes to supporting these things that will help these conversations that we're having right now, which is writing a check for how many African American folks out there has ever written a check to a delegate to support?
I did.
There's one.
Here you go. Maybe that wasn't Obama. Because every
but you know what I'm saying? How many
fundraising on the personal level was massive when it came to Obama.
So here was the other thing that we talked about, because we were talking about, you know, getting more wealth within the black community and things of that sort, and getting these black folks in office and elected officials and things of that, vice presidents, presidents of companies, whatever. Once you get there and you get that situation, why are you not hiring a black team? We see a lot of folks that are running, but then everybody that they hire, there's no black nothing.
Okay. I got to ask you about that though. When you say that, if you are you not planting a seed of almost racism when you say, because isn't the purpose to have the best team, not a black team? That's
exactly what the purpose is. That's why I know because our mindset is that the best isn't black. Right?
No, my mindset is whoever is out of that pool is the best.
I know certain folks have that mindset, but most people mindset is, oh, you're a black company, how long have you been there? Well, what is your results? So the point is that companies only get better, one, through time, and through people using them, right? That's how they get bigger. HEB didn't start off with 82 HEBs. They had one with 4 aisles. Right. And it was because people came in and spent money, they were able to buy a bigger HEB. More employees, better knowledge, whatever the case may be. Yep. We will never get bigger and better if nobody will invest in the small guy. Yeah. And the thing about it is that we have enough money, because those come with budgets or whatever it is raising, to say, I'm going to get both. I'm going to get the small guy this to be able to make them bigger, and if I need to get this extra stuff to make sure I'm covered, we can get that too, right? Because there's a lot of people out there that might be black and be in this, and they have a smaller company, but they got the knowledge. And here's the kicker that people don't understand. You're paying that big company that you think is better and bigger and been there, right? You're giving them this $100,000 to run your campaign to get the same information from the database that the black people probably got too, right? All you're doing is going and you're buying marketing campaigns from one person that's putting them on TV channels. I can do that marketing campaign too, especially if I have your check. It don't take nothing to buy advertisement on Case at 12 and Ken's 5. It just takes a check. I can go take that check and represent it, or the white man can go take that check and get the same time. That data information comes from the same place. Tyrone Darden can knock it off for you. He can tell you every last number, what the voters are, where they are, every piece of information. He's been on 4 campaigns before. But will you hire Tyrone Darden if he starts a company next year? It might be small because it's his first year. But his knowledge is 20, 30 years deep. But as our community, we won't go to Tyrone to hire him because his business is too small. And we got to make sure we win. So we're going to go to Austin or Dallas or somewhere else and hire someone to come in who knows nothing about our community. You know how many times I've worked with outside community people because they hired somebody from Dallas, got here, they didn't know how to talk to our people, they didn't know how to get their attention. So I had to come in to bridge the communication gap between the people that you wrote that big ass check to in our community.
Now here,
but you know what I mean?
Just to take it full circle for a second, though, you also have to ask the question, right? Why did they do that?
Oh yeah, right? I mean, I just figured because of their knowledge.
It's not always racism. It's not always not to go with the black. Maybe it's not to go with. Maybe it's not always to go with the people who don't show up to the NAACP convention when it's in your backyard.
Now that's where San Antonio.
Let's take it back. Let's take it back to full circle. If they're going to Austin to go and get those people, because
ain't nobody standing up here.
I don't think I can depend on anybody in San Antonio because it's always mañana.
Because I said Tyrone Darden, and really, if you ask me, Nika, who is knowledgeable that could give me a win, Tyrone Darden.
If I decide to run.
Right. Tyrone Darden.
Darden.
If you were to ask me.
He'd probably get more work if he lived in Austin and said, I'll do that. I specialize
because I don't think it's a black and a white thing. Because I know people that would say we need to find some black folks here to, you know what I'm saying? They're doing it on purpose to find black people.
Yeah.
So I think it is the best, right? And I think that is right. And I think that you do have that on the backside. Well, hell, I've been asking people to show up all day long. Right. I could take Barbara Hawkins for an example and say, she'll be out here and say, come to these meetings, come to this stuff. I want to expose you to this stuff. Right. And still only 1 or 2 black people show up. Right. So then at the end of the day, I must choose somebody else because we aren't present. So that goes back to my first argument from the NAACP.
Matter of fact, full circle. Did you find out about the asylum?
Okay, so
that's not full circle. That's rewind.
Just and I wanted to get back in the conversation. I could have sat here for hours reading this stuff, but basically, an asylum seeker must prove that he or she has a well-founded fear of persecution based on 1 or more of 5 grounds: race, religion, nationality, membership in a particular social group. Most LGBTQ individuals who apply for asylum qualify under that category, and political opinion. But it's not just the government, right?
Okay, but those are the main.
Those are the 5.
Those are the reasons.
And government would be the main oppressors of that. So people coming from outside the United States, keep this so I can eliminate.
Continue.
Coming from outside the United States that are currently being held in majority, where would they fall into that in order to qualify for asylum? Because it's not because of race. It's not because of religion. It's not because of nationality, and most of them are not gay. So where are they going to find grounds for asylum? And I'm going to answer the question. They have found it as a loophole because if you come into this country and claim asylum, they have to give you a hearing, which buys you time. And the time that is bought, you have to separate the children because people on the liberal side sued and said these kids were in danger because, hey, we don't even know if that's their parents. We don't know if they're being molested in these camps when they're mixed in with adults. That's how the separation of children, not just in this administration, not just in Obama, all the way back came to be. So people have used this issue and cherry-picked independent parts of it in order to create a political season firestorm to make their point about the issue. Because none of those things apply to most people that come from outside the United States.
Mm-hmm. He didn't say Mexico.
Okay. No, he didn't say Mexico.
Oh, I learned. You ain't gonna burn me one time.
No, that's fine. That's fine. That's good. That's good. Okay, so can there be, this is my question, right? Because I see what you're saying. So can there be a situation where we're not putting these people in jail with rapists and murderers and thieves and the such, right? And be a situation where, all right, all those people that are coming in illegally with families and whatnots get put in a different type of facility where you can be with the same people that you came in with. And then once you get your court date, you either wait here, maybe, or we send you back and then you come back for your court date.
Well,
legally.
And this goes back to, quote, regardless of what you think about it, why not just stop people from coming in? Because you have to admit,
I just gave you an option, but then your knee jerk was like, no, but don't let them come in the first place.
But you're dealing with the situation under the assumption that, oh, well, everybody can come in and then we'll deal with it. So why is the burden on the United States to deal with people after they've already broken the law, mainly for their benefit?
Well, because they're coming here. Right? If we had a better relationship with our neighbors, which is what I was telling Nika if we had a better relationship with our neighbors, right? If we weren't so anti-Mexican or anti-brown, right? Then maybe, and if we were in a situation where we, instead of it feeling like we're constantly in a battle with our neighbors, right, monetarily or fiscally or what have you.
Okay.
Then, and if we did as much to help our neighbors to get out of their holes and out of their situations as we did to try to meddle in elections and all that stuff, which is going back to what you were talking about, that we all do it, then maybe we would have a situation where Mexico can help us handle some of the people coming in from even lower. You're back to that. You're back to that boat. No, I said that Mexico could help us to deal with people that are coming in from further south or whatever, or maybe those governments could help us or help themselves.
Why do they have to help us when all we have to do is, this is like going back to the situation I gave you about your family members. So to keep your family members from invading your house, hey, I'm gonna send y'all some cash. And at what point do you have to stop doing that?
Okay, who said that you got to send them cash?
Well, what kind of help are we talking about?
Dude, if I teach you to fish, right? If I teach you to fish, my
responsibility to take care of my neighbors. Am I supposed to make sure my neighbors can pay their house note by teaching them how to work?
Let me tell you something. It is our responsibility to take care of our neighbors. You a Christian.
Hold on a minute.
Work it out.
I'm going to tell you something.
Not they car note. Not they car note.
Hold on a minute. I got to say this because everybody's been posting this thing, especially on my page lately. And it says in the Bible, you should be kind to those outside of your country, and you're supposed to help everybody. I'm gonna tell you something. Jesus walked through millions upon millions of people. The Bible only got very few short passages about who he helped. In other words, for every person he helped, he walked by about 1 million of them. So don't give me this stuff that Jesus helped everybody, because he didn't.
Okay, so you can only help to
His
your
said he walked by 1 million people.
By 1 million people, didn't do nothing.
It didn't do nothing. And there was a lot of them talking about Jesus, help me, help me.
Now let me tell you something. Just to tell you this, probably because the person that he did help, he helped them to fulfill their purpose. Their purpose was to help the people that he walked by. Understand?
Okay, well then let's help a couple of people.
Wait for it.
And send them on their merry way.
Wait for it, baby. He don't help people. He helps purposes.
Okay.
So when he helped the people who had a purpose for the people.
To the United States. What is the United States' purpose in the world at this point as y'all see it? You know what? I liked it. That was a segue. I learned that from you.
But not your segue.
I'm sitting up here directing stuff.
Your show has now been moved to Tuesdays at 7. Good Lord. Wait till tomorrow for these segues.
I'm sorry, I was lost in the moment.
Hey, look, check this out. If you ever come to his show, watch him have nothing to say. You have to do all the talking on his show.
You're like, I already said everything I had to say on Monday morning.
All right. On y'all show.
Matter of fact, I'm going to get some coffee. Tell them what you think.
Hey, look, as far as this conversation, we're done, right? It's over. Paul will continue it on Tuesday at around 7-ish because we changed up his time. Look at my Najee. Hi, gorgeous. T and Najee just walked in.
I just wanted to start having a conversation. How was your play?
No, you're good. Stay right there. No, we got 2 more minutes. You going to sit there for 2 minutes. You ain't going to disrupt the stuff. Najee. Hi, gorgeous. You cut your hair off? We all cut our hair off. She's so pretty. You're getting grown. Okay, we'll have this conversation later. All right.
She's like, what are you saying? I've been grown.
I know, but she's getting older in front of my eyes. Look, few things. We already talked about NAACP. I already told you it was Youth Day today, so please hook that up and go by, hang out. Tuesday, of course, also is going to be a good day. If you are interested, I know you're going to laugh at me, but I'm interested. If you're interested about growing the life of becoming a business person in cannabis, right? Mm-hmm. They actually have a seminar on that on Tuesday, right? And they're going to talk about the African American folks and how difficult it is to actually get into that industry. People are making millions and billions of dollars, and they have pretty much made it to where a lot of black folks can't get into the industry at all. Like if you have a felon, you can't grow cannabis. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things that will keep you from being in that market, and it's crazy. So that's going to be a big conversation tomorrow. So just to give you some 411, OKC just started there. They kind of did something and went back. It's on the local level, but not on the Fed, I guess, yet. But they just legalized the whole growing of marijuana and cultivating and things
for medical
of that
purposes.
Yeah. So coming soon to San Antonio near you. The Jazz Up Friday is Friday. We've got PM Soul in the house, so it's going to be a good show. $10 at the door, 6 o'clock, free food, all that kind of good stuff. So I don't think I have the new flyer up for that, but it is definitely going down. The new app, the One Media Hub app, is up, so please download it. It is 99 cents. I literally did it because I kind of did it myself, and I forgot to put the logo on the app page. And it's a whole thing to reload it with the logo. So that'll be done today at some point. You'll see a smiley face. It'll say the One Media Hub The One Media is one word, and Hub is the next word. So look it up. Pay 99 cents. Half the proceeds every month go to a different charitable organization. This month that we just put it up, it just goes to us. So holla at your girls and your boys and everybody else that be up in here. And starting next month, we'll start grabbing organizations, and together we will get new downloads and audiences for the One Media Hub.
Absolutely.
You can watch the morning show live. It's on there right now on the page. You see Miss Nika live, boom, go. TV shows live, all that good stuff from the app. You can listen to the radio, your daily giveaways.
I'll find out if I can win a T-shirt today.
I know. I'm actually gonna change the giveaways today.
Oh man, if everybody else can win a T-shirt,
I think, did I give you more than one chance?
That's not a T-shirt. That's a polo. I'm gonna wear that polo when I'm out and about playing basketball. I look weird.
The first year, the word was shabuji.
Shabuji. This
what
weekend,
does shabuji mean?
It's like ghetto and bougie put together.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll be that. Okay.
Also, the Lion's Den returns this month inside of Breathe Lounge, so that's also going to be a great night. It's on Sunday. Call for seat reservations. Get that in because you definitely want to make sure you have a good seat. They're going to have.
Who is it?
Prodigy. Yes. If you keep going, you can find Lion's Den. It's actually on the second row, first flyer. There you go. Oh, dang. It's not on that one.
That's okay.
Sorry. It's right
boom.
there. Yeah.
There it is.
Boom, boom, boom,
Lion's
boom.
Den right there. Prodigy at breathe, breathe,
Breathe Lounge.
breathe, breathe.
Oh, Lord. One more time. So I have literally got to do some updates. I've been at the convention center for the last 3 days. Forgive me. But H-Town, of course, is coming up July 28th. We gave away all kinds of tickets last Friday. If you won, they are available up here at the office. So come and grab them. We are usually here open till 5 o'clock. So make it happen. And I did remind you, it is the 16th. So if you owe me money, your invoice is coming. All right. We love you so very much. I mean, you can swipe your card right now. You don't even have to lead nowhere.
You'll have it this evening.
I love it. Other than that, guys, we'll see you at the conference. We'll be going live to talk about some few things.
Heading over there right now.
Heading over there right now. So we love you guys so very much.
Absolutely.
And we'll see you.
Give me your hand, brother. I don't like it, but I like you.
That's I don't like this, but I like you. So,
I don't like it, but I like you.
Dear Lord, thank you so very much for waking us up for another day and giving us another opportunity to uplift the kingdom. Thank you for Paul.
Word up.
Unsubscribe. No, I'm just kidding. And thank you for Paul. Thank you for our blessings. Thank you. Just thank you for the day. I hope that everybody gets an opportunity today somewhere, from somebody, or maybe even gives an opportunity to somebody. Give us traveling grace this morning. And of course, let's keep joining our hearts, knowing all things are possible through you. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen, amen, and amen.
Amen. And Lord, please make these people understand that not all Latinos are Mexican.
That's right. And not everybody's from Mexico.
Although we love them, I don't like it, but I like you.
Last little jizzle jab.
All right, well, we appreciate the love, kissy face. Keep it sexy, Keep it sexy, San Antonio. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh. H-Town's in town.
Right.
Just letting you know. Letting you know again.
I think I got a game tonight.
Yeah, that's what he's been doing.
I might need to skip this game.
He's been doing basketball games. That's why he's been missing his show.
No, I'm still playing league.
Which league?
They got one.
The NBA?
No. That's the only reason it doesn't bother me when I play horribly. Because I'm not picking up a contract.
Yeah.
He played for the junior senior league.
Well, no, I play in the 30 and up, the 40 and up, and the 50 and up.
Yeah, junior senior league.
Okay, well, 30 is not a junior league, me being as I'm 54. No.
Oh, you be playing against those 30?
Yeah. Tonight is open league. I gotta play. Well, tonight I'm playing an open league.
Oh shit! I was gonna tell you, hey man, wanna go?
Oh my gosh.
I don't need that. I can still. It depends on what time I get out. I can hang out with y'all, but y'all ain't got to do that. I appreciate it. I got to pay my bill today anyway with her. So.
Beach ball spinning.
Oh, it's nice to see you again. That's twice in 3 days. They being mean to me.
Nobody's being mean.
Nobody's being mean to you.
Now, she used to really get on me. You're more cordial. That one? When she used to get on me?
Wow. She's a thespian now. Can you please be a little more cordial to her?
Oh no.
Thank you.
Even when
you understand. You need to. There's a rapport now you need to have. You can't just be.
I started. There was a point I thought I was going to have to wear a body cam on the show.
So what did they find? What did y'all find it?
No, that was mine. The one that I brought in. The one that I used for my DJ thing. I plugged that into the 2-track.
Yeah,
I showed it to you.
He doesn't know where.
Yeah, but I remember you showed it that it was.
Right, so I plugged it into the 2-track and I rerouted the thing to the 2-track, and so that they can hear me on the 2-track. We still need to find that other cable though. Apparently, last night's people did not take it.
Right, they did not take it.
She looked back on. She spoke to him, but she looked back on the broadcast, and it wasn't there. So now we gotta see who
was before that.
Who was before them? Maybe Saturday shows or.
And everybody, they so, I don't even remember them doing the show. I know Bruce didn't touch nothing because he's.
How much is